Today, in our conversation with Alejandro de Gyves, Action Coach Master Licensee in Mexico, he takes us on a journey that started when working in the corporate world, realized, upon his father's passing, that he wanted to leave a legacy. And the organization he has built over the last 24 years is a legacy realized. Join us for a candid conversation from a top performer just south of our borders. What would you say are the top key elements that someone needs to be successful in franchising?
After all these years I've been in the franchise business, one of the things that I see with people that fail is that they don't use the proven system they bought. And it seems foolish, but unfortunately happens very many times. So the people in franchising should have the discipline and the willingness to follow the system, because that was the main reason they enter into the business. They want to be successful. Discipline to follow the system. Another thing is, of course, and this is not only for franchising, but for anything in life, it's willing and courage to work hard. Nothing comes, not because you invest in a franchise, then everything is going to happen by itself. People need to work. And I have a third one, which is being open to ask for help when the things are not going as planned. That will be my top three skills or things.
What made you choose to invest in franchising and a franchise concept, and most importantly, in this industry, the business coaching industry?
By the time I started searching, or I decided to transition it from my corporate life to this, I was almost 50 years old. I decided to quit my corporate career when I lost my father, because I was successful there. I was waiting for retirement, but I feel like that will be a waste of my life. So I said, I've been very fortunate. I've been traveling the world. I know many countries and businesses. So how can I contribute to help my country to be better? So I said, I don't want to continue in the corporate life, but I will quit and start my own business. I don't know what business, but it has to be something that allows me to help other people. So, not knowing anything about that, never been in a position to run a business by myself, I started searching. Suddenly I found that there was something called franchising. I have no idea what that was, but it makes sense for a guy like me, close to 50 years old, saying starting from scratch may not be the best idea. So why don't I do that? And I wanted to have the right to develop my entire country. So I never searched within Mexico, in this case, because I wanted something new that I could develop for the entire country. So I choose from a website, entrepreneur.com at that time, who listed many type of franchises. Of course, I didn't want anything that has to do with food or car repair. So I look into service businesses, and I choose 70 different brands. I contacted all of them, and through that work that lasted for about 3 months, some of them never replied. Some of them replied months after I requested some information. It was a very interesting experience. So in any situation like this, I was discarding most of them. And for the remaining 6, I visited their headquarters in Canada, in Mexico. I came up with a decision because one thing I had was my deadline. I have a time where I I decided this time I have to come up with a decision. There I was that day at 11 p.m. with the draft of the agreement on my hands, but I was not excited with the idea. All my life, I have been in love with challenges. And actually, in my past life as engineer, they said I was fireman. I love when things were tough. So I don't know how that happens, because Action Coach was not on the list of the 70 brands I surveyed. And Action was very new. I don't know how that happens. I was scratching my head thinking, well, this is the best I found, so it has to be this one. But I was not happy. So suddenly, I don't know how, I honestly cannot remember, on the screen, Action Coach appears. At that time was Action International. And the first thing I found, I noticed, was the vision, World Abundance through Business Re-education. And there were, at that time, the website were not containing any videos, nothing like that. Just a few pages with some text. But I was so excited, William. I said, I would love to do this. I think that with these tools, I can achieve my dream, my goal, to help many, many people and to help my country. Maybe it took me 20 minutes or something like that. And the next thing I did was to start searching in Google about this so-called business coaching, and couldn't find anything. And unlike most people who may have been discouraged, I was even more excited. I said, this is new, nobody's doing it, and it makes a lot of sense. So I couldn't sleep. I spent the rest of the night uh, looking on internet and waiting for my wife to wake up. At about 5 a.m., I went to see her and said, honey, I found it. I know now what we are going to do. And she started asking me finalists that I have been in contact with. She said, is this one? No. Is this one? No. Then she said, then which one is it? I said, Action International. I said, what is this? It's a business coaching franchise. Where are they located? In Australia. Australia. She was really very scared. But that was it. I was totally convinced, because she said, what if it is fake? I said, if it is fake, I'll do it myself, because it makes a lot of sense. And so that was the reality, how I enter into franchising and why I choose Action Coach, because it fulfilled what I was looking after.
I hope you have gained some valuable insights into the world of franchising. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share with your network. Also, click the link below to learn more about franchising with Action Coach.